There are 3 rounds remaining this year for our MotoAmerica riders. For some, a championship title is within reach. For others, it's time to make adjustments and even start thinking about next season. Welcome to Wampum, Pennsylvania for round number 8 of the 2019 MotoAmerica season. I'm Hannah Lopa. Welcome to Pittsburgh International Race Complex and Inside MotoAmerica. Here in the heart of Steel Country, just 35 miles west of Pittsburgh and 105 miles east of Cleveland, sits the sleepy town of Wampum, Pennsylvania, in the heart of Beaver Falls Township. Our host is the Pittsburgh International Race Complex, where the riders will face 19 turns with almost 90 feet of elevation changes over this 2.78-mile layout. With only 3 rounds remaining in the 2019 MotoAmerica season, some championships could be decided as soon as this week, while others, like the Twins Cup class, are as close in points as 3 riders can get. Leading this class by a single point is Drake Beecham, who has 3 podium finishes this year, including a win at Road America. In the second spot is Alex Dumas, who has made the podium in 4 consecutive races, including wins in Utah and Sonoma. And sitting in third position is the veteran Michael Barnes, who started the year with consecutive wins in Atlanta and VIR. Barnes has 5 podium finishes, yet 2 DNFs to put him in this third position. 2 points separates first and third on the standings, but what's really unique and epitomizes the competition within MotoAmerica, the ages combined of first and second is still 15 years younger than Michael Barnes in third place. With the races and to see how it all worked out, here's Robbie Floyd and Michael Hill with the call.
Alex Dumas leads this race by, we went for the strike, 8.4 seconds. It is going to be another convincing win, and all hell is about to break loose as we go down into turn 1. Chris Turner, oh dear me, he almost went down again. Chris Turner, well, the shapes that he is putting on that motorcycle, and Madama now is getting on the act, even though he's got a 5-second penalty.
And Turner had the fastest of all 3 of those riders that last lap, and that's what I said. I didn't want Jason Madama. If he's going to be assessed a penalty, I hate that he's in that 3-rider mix, because that will be assessed at the end. But look at this. You see the defending champ, Chris Parrish. He's only got so many turns. We're on the last lap to get by Drake Beecham. Beecham doesn't want to lose any more points to Alex Dumas or Michael Barnes, who are in front of him. They're going to finish 1 and 2. Drake Beecham needs to finish third.
Yeah, he does. He can see Michael Barnes in front of him. He's closing the gap back, and he's 1.4 seconds quicker through the second split. The first sector, rather, as they go into the second split. He is closing down 1.3 seconds, to be absolutely exact. But Beecham is closing in. If only they hadn't been fighting, we could have been seeing Beecham and Parrish fighting for second and not the third position.
I'm not looking at Beecham on Barnes. I'm looking at Chris Parrish on Beecham. That's where we're going to see the contact as we head into the final right-hander going up that hill. Can we see somebody actually draft other than Alex Dumas? Will it be the 1 of Parrish? Will it be the 77 that's going to finish third?
I tell you what, one more lap and they would have caught Michael Barnes. They come down into the little man-made chicane. Oh, Drake Beecham is so late on the brakes. He makes it stick. The corner speed there. Beecham is going to be on the podium. He could get second here. This is going to be a stunning final lap. It's a Cameron Beaubier repeat, isn't it? He's going for it as across the line we go. Win number 4 and the first triple ever in the Twins Cup for Alex Dumas. And across the line, Beecham gets him. Beecham gets him across the line. Unbelievable. And I think Barnes had a problem.
There's something mechanical there. That's not Barney losing that race. That's something happening to that Ducati at the very end. What a turn of events on that final lap for Michael Barnes, finishing third, and that never say die attitude of Drake Beecham.
What that does for the championship, though, of course, Robbie, with Dumas winning from Drake Beecham, the gap was up to 4 points. It means there's only 9 points between them. It pushes Michael Barnes further back in the championship, but it's a 9-point advantage for Alex Dumas.
As we look at the championship points, Alex Dumas is going to be on top. He gets love all around from his crew, that M4 Road Racing World Suzuki team. 9 over Beecham, 19 now for Barnes. You see Curtis Murray and Chris Parrish separated only 5 points, trying to get up there in the top 4 spot is Murray. Blasius had a chance, but going down on that sighting lap today. Hopefully Joe Blasius will be back with us at New Jersey.
Pit Race, like so many other stops on the MotoAmerica circuit, is extremely fan-friendly. This week, we decided to ask the lifeblood of our tour why they love MotoAmerica. Here's what our fans had to say.
I just love the motorcycle, I love the races, love keeping up with all the racers.
We've always enjoyed bikes and racing. We went to VIR, so we wanted to come here to Pittsburgh since it was closer to home and enjoy watching all the bikes.
I like watching the motorcycles race.
I love the racing.
I like motorcycles too.
We've been coming to Superbike races for 36 straight years, so we've been following it for a long, long time.
My favorite racer is Danny Eslick.
Richie Escalante.
Isaiah Davis, Kai Wyman, Xavier Zayat.
JD Beach.
His name's Rocco Landers and he's 14 and he's really taking the lead this year. He gave me this helmet protector and then he gave me some knee pads and stuff.
All these activities and things that are here for all the family and stuff is great.
What I love about MotoAmerica is the family atmosphere, the great racing, and the drivers. Everybody's really cool and down to earth.
We've seen the guys doing the wheelies last time down in Virginia. We're watching them now, just checking out all the team riders and just enjoying it, getting some autographs, enjoying the weekend.
My favorite racer is Garrett Gerloff.
Is anybody on a Suzuki?
Tony Elias.
We're pushing for Cameron Beaubier to win the championship this year.
Cameron Beaubier is #1.
Welcome back to Wampum, Pennsylvania and Pit Race. This 2.78-mile layout is home to Inside MotoAmerica this week. A glorious sunrise lights up the tuned team truck. A team featuring the pole sitter for the Supersport class this weekend, Bryce Prince, who earlier gave us a turn-by-turn tour of Pit Race.
Hi, my name's Bryce Prince. I'm with Tuned Racing on a Yamaha YZF R6, and I'm going to take you for a quick lap around Pit Race. Coming down the front straightaway right here is a lot of elevation going into turn 1. There's a big hill going down from 5th to 3rd. Bike wants to get a little sideways coming down turn 1. And really important to get a good drive out of here. And going over turn 2 is a really blind corner with a big hill and a lot of bumps. Really crucial to get a good drive over there and get the bike set up going down the straightaway. Coming into the next corner, hard on the brakes from 5th to 2nd. Nice little corkscrew style corner. You got a quick left and quick right in 2nd gear. And driving down this hill, quick upshift to 3rd. Coming down here, back down to 2nd. We're probably the lowest part of the track where you work your way back up this really steep hill onto the back straightaway. 2nd gear corner here. Really important to get a good drive out of this corner, up and over the hill. A little bit of off camber, grip's always an issue. And then drive up over this hill right here on the back straight, up and tap into 4th gear, come down into 2nd for the start of the S's, which is a very exciting part of the track for me. We got really fast corners here. First you have a right, then a left, and then you really want to try to accelerate out of these corners into the next one, then another fast right, and then this fast left right here is probably the most crucial. It's completely blind and it's very off camber. You can't see where you're going. And really important to get a good line through here to get a good run through the last part of the S's, which is a really fast 3rd gear right-hander to drive you up towards the hill over here. Hard on the brakes into this corner in a 2nd gear. Banked corner, you can really carry a lot of corner speed, and then you go up through another blind corner. And probably the hardest corner on the track right here is this next blind right-hander. You can't see anything, and it's a 3rd gear flat-out corner on the 600. And you want to get a really good drive out of here, as this is probably one of the longest straightaways we have coming through here. Very fast left, flat-out 5th gear, and coming up into the chicane, the MotoAmerica chicane. Very crucial to get through here good. It's a very fast corner. You get through there in third gear, completely blind, you can't see the curbing, and really crucial to get through there and you can pick up a lot of time and not overslow the corner. And drive flat out third gear up into the last and final hairpin of the track. Really crucial to get the thing, hit the apex and drive out and get a really good drive through this long sweeping right-hander right here. Coming up through second, third gear, and then hit fourth gear as you transition into the last left-hand corner, which is flat out on a 600 and clip fifth down the front straightaway. And that's the lap around pit race.
Coming off a podium in Sonoma, Bryce keeps the momentum going by starting from the ideal position on the grid.
Bobby Fong is starting to stretch away from Hayden Gillum, and it's that ability of his teammate, SDK, and Bryce Prince, who's racing for himself, obviously, that's putting more points in that championship hunt as we are so deep into this season.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is that Hayden's still there. And any kind of engagement between any of these three riders in front of him will allow Hayden to get back up into the spot with them. He's not going to give up. We got a lot of racing left to do here. These two guys are just trying to figure things out, Greg, how they can get up to those front four. They're just a tick off at 44.2. 44.0 that last time through for Escalante, so he was about as quick as Hayden Gillum on the last lap.
Left party.
Oh, no!
Bobby Fong!
Huge crash for Bobby Fong.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's coming down the hill. And Bobby, I see him moving, that's a good thing. But he does this coming down the hill out of turn 14. And that's going to, all three of these riders in front will have seen that. And you can see how it closes back up, Greg, because everybody just kind of getting a little bit of shock when you see something like that happen right smack in front of you. On lap 5 here, look at the line, still 44.0, 44.2, but that's going to pull Bryce Prince. Now in your helmet, you're thinking to yourself, you're looking at the corner worker stations in front when you're leading the race, and you're expecting to see, you're not expecting it, but you're looking to see if there's going to be any kind of flag situation, to see if there'll be any red flags or whatever. The people are now, we see a red flag right out our window right now, Greg. I'm just standing in our commentary booth. I can see our situation here, and they've red flagged the race.
So corner workers with Bobby as they are working on him.
Greg, this is a very hard corner. You can see that thing snapped around a lot on him before it caught. And it's a very tricky corner, that one. You can't see your exit when you tip in.
So it's great to see Bobby Fong up. Did Bryce Prince play his hand too early with Sean Dillon Kelly? A very intelligent motorcycle racer is SDK on that M4X Star Suzuki.
Look at that, Greg. He moves over to the right. He's protecting that inside line. He's not letting these guys realize that I'm not going to leave any doors open for you. Now let's watch what this young man does about 4 corners from here as he gets the bike a little lit up through the S's, gets through this right and this next left. He's going to know where Bryce passed him before. Let's see if he closed that door. He makes a mistake there, Greg. Runs a little wide. That's going to hurt his corner speed through this fast right.
He tries to pick it up on the meat of the tire.
And he moves right over.
Slams the door on Bryce Prince.
Yep. Now he's got to clean this section. He's got the bike underneath him, Greg. He's got to just clean it down this hill. And now he's got to make a good run through the chicane. A good, solid, clean run through the chicane.
Here we go. It's 1, 2, 3 with PJ Jacobson there. Who's going to make move? Bryce Prince trying to do it in the chicane. He won't do it. Sean Dillon Kelly gets through there clean.
He gets there bad, Greg. He's going to stay tight, though, and make it impossible for Bryce Prince to do anything. He's got the...
Oh, no! Oh, Bryce Prince out of this one. And so the run to the checkered flag, is it going to happen for the 17-year-old Sean Dillon Kelly? Onto the front straightaway he comes, and he takes the checkered flag.
Unbelievable. And just behind, PJ Jacobson gets Hayden Gillum for second spot. Hayden Gillum will finish third. And look at Bryce Prince. Such a bummer for Bryce to lose it in the last corner, Greg.
Bobby had a pretty tough crash yesterday. How are you able to kind of regroup and refocus and keep your mind off the pain in today's race?
I just got to think about that only 4 points gap I have now, I guess. So I'm going to give it my all, and yeah, we're in pain and stuff, but hopefully adrenaline kicks in here shortly and could help me out a little bit.
Well, this white flag is going to be a welcome for Bobby Fong as he comes across the line now. His teammate in tow, Sean Dillon Kelly, has a run on him. as they head down into turn 1.
There goes Sean Dillon Kelly. He does it. To the lead he goes. No team orders for this one as Bobby Fong has a look over, and wow, they nearly touch. Bobby Fong gets the advantage on his teammate and just says, hey, kid, this is my race to win.
And then wisely goes over, protects his line to the inside, going up over turn 3. And I bet that team right there on our screen right now are holding,
holding their breath as
holding
we are.
Breath, fingers crossed and everything else.
Bobby Fong fighting back on this last lap. The rear tire fighting his throttle inputs. Up the hill they come, Jason. We have about a half a lap to go, and Sean Dillon Kelly is not done yet on his teammate.
Bobby closed that line off as well as he came up into turn 7. Bobby's just closing a couple of these lines off. The next big shot that could be taken will be turn 12. So all through this thing, on one hand, you're happy that somebody passed you because you know it's your teammate. So, but Sean Dillon Kelly, he's going for his first double. Let's see if anything happens here. Clean as you like there for Bobby Fong. The next thing, get through 14 clean, and then try to hold guys off. Chris Orch with his hands on his head. Mine is as well, Chris. So as they come down through here, they're going to go through this fast kink. Bobby tucked in. It looked like Sean got bucked up out of the seat ever so slightly, Greg.
This is where Bobby's strong, Jason, through the chicane. Whoa, he had a little bit of a bobble there. Now Sean Dillon Kelly's going to have an opportunity. Only a couple corners left. There goes SDK. He's going up the inside. Bobby had to grab the lever. Around the outside goes PJ.
Wow.
Sean Dillon Kelly, aggressive move. There goes Hayden Gillum. They're side by side. To the flag they go. It's a full-on drag race. Who's going to win this? They touch. Coming across the line, it's going to be Sean Dillon Kelly. 0.005 of a second.
Oh.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
PJ Jacobson holds on to third spot.
Sean, take me through that last lap and your battle with Bobby here.
First of all, I just want to say massive respect to my teammate here. I really can't believe he was riding that fast with how injured he is. I know how much pain he was going through yesterday and all day today. So massive respect to this guy right here. He freaking drove his heart out, and I know he did. So congrats to this guy. And I still can't believe I did it, to be honest. I hope it wasn't too bad in the last corner. But, man, I'm just happy for us, happy for the whole team for doing the 1-2. I think that they all deserve this, so we'll just keep on rolling like this.
Bobby, with how much pain you were in, how were you able to just overcome all of that and absolutely fight till the end?
Honestly, this is my first chance at a real championship, so, I had to do it for my team, really. They've been trying to fight for this #1 plate for a long time, and it was really my team backing me the whole time. And honestly, congrats to Sean, man. That's awesome. He rode a great race, and I didn't know who had it at the line, but kudos to him, and looking forward to more battles at the rest of the season.
So Bobby Fong now ahead of Hayden Gillum by 11 points as we head into New Jersey September 6th, actually September 7th and 8th. Then you have PJ Jacobson only 20 points behind, so he's still in the mix. SDK has closed to within 45, Escalante. So this championship so far from over. I mean, SDK mathematically in the mix as well.
100%.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
When we return, race #1 of the EBC Brake Superbike class on Inside MotoAmerica.
I've been riding for about 35 years.
I've been designing motorcycle race tires for 33 years and riding a motorcycle for about 30 years.
We've got a team of hardcore enthusiasts. My field salespeople, 100% of them ride motorcycles. It really makes a difference in the way people respect you, approach you, and listen to what you have to say.
Right now I have a Triumph Tiger 800 adventure bike, which is a fantastic way to tour the country. My experience on a bike is very helpful in terms of trying to understand the riders and speaking the language they speak. I understand gestures, I understand what this means,
In my departments, the engineers working for me on motorcycle tire design, about 60% are enthusiasts. We do track days, we do touring, we go to rallies, we go to events on our own motorcycles.
They get to bring that information back to our product planning teams, and the product planning teams in turn create better products for the end user. Some hardcore enthusiasts that do a lot of track days, including the team that works right here in the MotoAmerica paddock. There's no substitute for that. When they're working with the best riders in the world to design tires and they understand what those guys go through, when they talk about a feel in a corner, it makes all the difference in the world for us when we're designing tires. We're very blessed to have that many engineers and enthusiasts on our team at Dunlop.
After a winless 2019 thus far, Garrett Gerloff got the monkey off his back, capturing his first checkered flag at Laguna Seca. Let's go to Greg and Jason with the call of race number 1 of the EBC Brake Superbike class.
Cameron Beaubier is not done with Garrett Gerloff, but Gerloff knows as he takes the white flag what he's got to do to rip this lap in order to not give Cameron Beaubier a chance to fight back. And he has got a good margin, probably what, a tenth of a second right now.
40.9 to 40.8. I think if the pass comes at all for Cameron Beaubier, it's going to be into turn 12. I think that that's going to be the spot that he's going to try to take a shot. I think Garrett's really good all down through this section. The S corners are where Cameron's bike seems to shine ever so slightly. He's drawn up on the back. Oh, big slide. Now that might just take that prediction of mine right out the window.
Beaubier was along for the ride, and wow, that Yamaha R1 kept him from getting spit off that motorcycle. Wow. So Cameron Beaubier was trying.
He still is.
He's still there.
He still is. And really, they go through this next left, and that gap that was just created from that big slide would have been this would have been the spot that I think he would have tried to do something coming into this turn 12 section. They're going to go in here. Now, he knows he's got to try to get close enough because Garrett, once he comes through this left and this next right down the hill out of 14, he's just not close enough.
Garrett's so good through the chicane in the final section. Cameron Beaubier, that was his spot when he passed for the lead last time, but he's not close enough. Now here's Garrett Gerloff's section. He goes in there. He gets it clean. Beaubier's trying to get a drive on him. He can't do it, so now he's going to get hard on the binders. Beaubier closes up within 1 bike length, but we know when he twists the grip that he's got some spinning issues. Yep. And up and out of the saddle he goes. The 31, Garrett Gerloff, comes onto the front straightaway, uncontested. He'll come across the line and take his 3rd EBC Brakes Superbike victory. A 1-2 for the Monster Energy Yamalube Yamaha factory team. And Tony Elias on the Yoshimura Suzuki Factory Racing GSXR 1000 will stand on the podium as we await the arrival of the 32 of Jake Gagne, back in action here in the United States, and a solid 4th place finish for the Scheibe Racing team. Wheel in the air just ahead of Matthew Skoltz. So that margin of victory, 0.3 of a second. Tony Elias, it looked like we thought he had something to the end, but when Garrett Gerloff got by, he set a torrid pace and was able to get ahead of Tony Elias by 3 seconds. You can see Matthew Skoltz just a tick behind Jake Gagne. Yep. They'll go to work. Hey, good bit of data for everybody in this one who was able to finish the race, and props to Josh Herron in 7th for getting back on the racetrack.
How were you able to ride defensively in order to pull off this win?
I mean, I started the lap riding defensive, and then I ended it trying to just hit my lines because I felt like I had pace. Man, my Yamaha R1 is working excellent today. It was working perfect all weekend, and even though we didn't get the pole today, like I knew we had consistent race pace. So that's kind of what kept my head in the right place and ready for the race and everything. And I almost completely forgot, but I'm such an idiot and ran off the track in like lap 2 or 3 or something like that. Luckily, it wasn't too bad, but I've already done that a couple times in practice. I should have known better, but hopefully tomorrow I can make that correction in the beginning of the race. But
in early September, MotoAmerica heads to New Jersey Motorsports Park. Located on 500 acres, NJMP houses 2 fully operable separate tracks, the Thunderbolt and the Lightning. Check your local listings for airtimes on the NBC Sports Network. High side, the worst kind of crash. The rear tire of the motorcycle loses traction, usually when the rider gets on the gas too early with too much lean angle. The rear of the bike goes into a slide, and then the rear tire catches grip again, sending the rider over the high side. Low side, the best kind of crash. The front tire of the motorcycle loses traction, usually at the maximum lean angle, and doesn't regain traction, causing the bike and rider to slide to a stop. Injuries are less frequent with a low side crash because the rider is closer to the ground. For the second time this season, Chris Speights, riding the number 138 for Speights Racing, is in the Twins Cup class. Like all riders, his dream is to cross the finish line first. But with his win, so many may benefit.
My main goal is actually just to be able to make the grid and get out there and be able to advertise for the ALS Therapy Institute. So for me, making the grid is really just the victory. So I'm trying to get the bike set up so I feel comfortable enough so I can put in the times to stay close to these fast guys.
For the second consecutive week, fans of MotoAmerica have been able to enjoy our races as up close and personal as possible through the full throttle experience, which includes a chance to spend time with the three-time 500cc world champion and MotoAmerica commissioner, Wayne Rainey. In the Stock 1000 class, Andrew Lee took one step closer to retaining his crown after bagging his fourth consecutive win and fifth overall. Ashton Yates made a late charge to make it close, but Lee responded with 2 corners to go to extend his points lead. 3 of the top 5 points leaders crashed out of the race and opened up the strong possibility of Lee wrapping up the title in New Jersey. MotoAmerica is made up of 5 classes, each with its own set of rules that defines the competition. The largest team in the paddock features riders in 4 out of our 5 classes, and making sure operations run as well as their motorcycles sometimes feels like a task even bigger than their team. With more, here's Inside MotoAmerica's The Crew.
Sean Dylan Kelly takes the checkered flag.
I'm Chris Ulrich. I'm the VP of Operations for Team Hammer Inc., which races in the MotoAmerica series. It's M4 X-Star Suzuki. Racing for the M4 X-Star Suzuki team, we have Jake Lewis on the Superbike. In Supersport category, we have Sean Dylan Kelly and Bobby Fong. And then in the Twins Cup category, we have Alex Dumas and Joseph Blasius. I handle all the racing operations from sponsorship acquisition to talent recruitment, hiring riders, hiring crew, the day-to-day operation in terms of the plan. A typical race weekend for me is pretty busy. So if I do my homework really well before we get here, it's not going to be that bad, but there's always things that you got to handle. More or less, I'm just putting out fires all weekend. I also try to help the riders if they need something, help the crew if they need something, try to make sure the whole operation keeps running smoothly. 7 riders in 4 out of 5 classes. It's hectic. We have right around 20 crew members during the weekend, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I manage each program. The biggest challenge of management is going to be the people. How do you keep them motivated? How do you keep them inspired? We have a 2-man 600 program. We have a 2-man Twins Cup program. So obviously in those little units, one program wants to beat the other program, but they also have to work together. So how do you find those synergies and place the right people together? I mean, this year I looked really hard at the Supersport program, and I had a vision to make those 2 programs cooperate and push the program overall forward. The same with the Twins Cup program. And then, you know, with the Superbike program, it's a 1-man team, but we also have to have a lot of support from the entire team to get everybody pushed the right direction. If one program does well, the entire team benefits. If all programs go well, the entire team benefits too. Trying to get them to understand that sometimes isn't the easiest thing, but I'm there to remind them. We have great support from Suzuki, we have great support from M4, but it's on us, it's on the Ulrich family to make it happen. And we've been able to do that. We've been able to punch above our weight year after year. We've been able to take these racers, put them in the right position, put them in our environment, which is a positive environment, and allow them to succeed underneath our tent. And we've taken riders that people have written off, and we've turned them into winners. And we've taken very, very young riders that no one would take a chance on them, and we've turned them into winners and launched them in the World Championships. It's been interesting to go from where we were to where we are now, and I'm proud of the success, and it's come from a lot of hard work. I have a great group of riders. They all get along. The vibe is really great in 2019 for our program. The best part's winning, obviously being on the podium, but it's also really rewarding to change a rider's life, change a rider's career path, and allow them to succeed in the sport that they love so much.
When we come back, it's my turn for an up-close tour of pit race as I take a 2-up ride with Chris Ulrich of Team Hammer and M4 X-Star Suzuki. Welcome back to Wampum, Pennsylvania and Pit Race. This 2.78-mile layout is home to Inside MotoAmerica this week. These air fences are an incredible blanket of safety for our riders. They are an ever-expanding expense that has been creatively funded by the 2-Up Ride, where fans can get a tour of the track like never before. This week, it was my turn to go for a ride. I'm sure that my 2-Up time won't move me up in the point standings. Speaking of which, there is no single element that defines our riders' success more than time. Each week, a small team of men and women have the immense task of making sure that each of our riders' times are chronicled down to the thousandth of a second for accurate scoring. With more, here's Inside MotoAmerica's The Crew.
Let me know when you're ready up there.
We're green up here.
Copy, rolling. So what we're doing right now is our morning loop test. We are making sure that our timing loops on the track are up and running before bikes actually hit the track. I drive around with a transponder in my hand, and my operators sit up in timing, and they'll report back to me as I cross over the loop. We're just crossing one right now, and that's split one loop.
S1. Copy, S1.
Since they're buried in the track, the bikes actually don't run over it. It's actually underneath some sealant, so they're pretty resistant. They put up with a lot of car usage, so bikes are nothing rolling over a loop. So we're coming up on split 2 right here.
S2.
Copy, S2. My name is Jason Kingham. I am the manager of timing and scoring for MotoAmerica. Timing and scoring is tracking the bikes around the track. Every bike out here has a transponder on it with a unique number. As they go around, they hit loops or antennas in our track, and we have devices on the side of the track that collect that data. That data is sent back to here in timing room, where we combine that with the rider information so that we can push data out to the fans, to the teams, so they know what their lap times are, what their bike is, and then we also push that out to the internet so that our fans can see it online. We break the track up into segments we call splits, and if you look at the scoring screens, you'll see a split 1, split 2, split 3. We also have a speed trap on track so that we can see the top speed of the bike, and generally we put that speed trap on the longest straight where we know they're going to be going the fastest. Many of our races come down to a thousandth of a second. To judge that, well, we don't use the transponders. We actually go to a camera, which is on our finish line, and scans this track at 10,000 frames per second. This allows us to see an inch or even less than that difference between two bikes on track. It's just a single pixel scanner that detects motion as it goes through and scans that image across. We don't just look at first, second, third. We look all the way through the pack, because these two are racing for 15th place. That's 1 point, but to them it matters. So at the start of every race, we have a set of cameras, a system of cameras along the front straight where our grid is, pointed at each grid row that we can judge whether somebody came out of their box or not. But we don't actually make that call. We just make sure we have the data for race control so that they can come back and make that call. I've worked pit lane, I've worked tech, now I've worked in timing and scoring since 2009. The hardest part of this job is the stress that's involved with making sure we are 100% accurate. It's a rewarding job because you do see the results of what you do every single weekend. We get done on Sunday with the last checkered flag and you know we got through it all. We got every passing and everything was right. That's probably the best part.
There are only 2 events remaining in our 2019 season. In 2 weeks, MotoAmerica heads one state east to New Jersey. All 5 classes are closing in on crowning a champion. This is followed by the season-ending event in late September at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Inside MotoAmerica will be there to help take the helmets off our riders and celebrate the champions and other great moments left of the 2019 season. Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica. Our host this week, Pit Race, is just 35 miles west of Pittsburgh. The future riders of MotoAmerica traveled from across the country to Pit Race to step into the shoes of their heroes as they showcase their talent in the Ovale Cup.
I first had the idea for this event when I first went to Ovale and talked to them about bringing the bikes over here because they've been growing in Europe for about 5 years now, and everyone's been following them. I kind of kept track of what they were doing and was very interested.
I got started riding bikes when I was watching MotoGP with my dad, and I kind of asked him if I can do it, and he's like, yeah, sure. So we got myself a little Pilota, started from there.
I really think the Ovales are really cool bikes because they're just like little GP bikes, and they can get a whole lot of lead angle. They're really fast, they have a lot of torque, and they're just overall amazing bikes.
I just had the idea at the beginning of the year and contacted MotoAmerica and said, pitched the idea of this Ovale Talent Cup where we would bring the best kids from around the country to one event to kind of put on a show and show everyone what can be. And I think we showed that. It was a success for sure because the racing was phenomenal. It was a really great show for everyone, and I think that everyone saw it and they said, wow.
I don't think people outside of racing realize what a family-oriented sport it is. I mean, all the families get together, we're best friends with one another. The kids are going off and having a blast playing after they get off track. They're rubbing elbows with each other, wanting to kill each other on track, and then they just run off and they're like best friends.
One thing I suggest is having confidence when you're racing, because if you don't have confidence, it might not happen. If you always have confidence, it always helps when you're riding. You'll be less nervous, and it's just fun.
I totally suggest trying to ride bikes. It's really fun, and it's a great family thing to do. So if anyone's interested in it, then I would really suggest it.
Yeah, if you want to see more of this, just make sure you contact MotoAmerica and tell them how great the event was, if you thought it was great. Say that you want to see them support the series, support what we're doing, get us involved more so we can see the whole thing grow.
The young riders of the Ovale Cup are the next generation of MotoAmerica. Speaking of which, the Liqui Junior Cup races. The youth movement continues. In race 1, Rocco Landers had his first DNF after a mechanical issue forced his bike to slow to a crawl with just over 2 laps left in the race. He could only sit and watch as the field flew by him. Kevin Olmedo and Dominic Doyle battled it out the rest of the way, with Olmedo coming out on top. Rocco and his bike were back and ready to race on Sunday. Let's get to race 2 with Greg and Jason.
White flag flies. Dallas Daniels using every bit of racetrack. Rocco Landers has had it his way since turn number 1. 7.4 seconds, the margin right now over Kevin Olmedo, who's got a 10-second gap back to Jackson Blackman, who is going to be coming under fire from the likes of Damian Jigaloff, Hunter Dunham, and Dallas Daniels in a moment. We haven't had a tremendous amount of time to watch this young racer race in this one because he's been so far out front, but he is an absolute perfect picture of how you want to race a Kawasaki Ninja 400R.
And these guys have had some real adversity, just even getting to the track. I know they had trailer troubles. They had help from
Cameron Jones
to get them here, and then of course yesterday Rocco's clutch goes out, and here's that battle now. Now that battle for third is just heated up, and if Jackson Blackman had mirrors, they'd be full because Jigalov now has caught up, and the biggest problem is when they come out of 14, that draft is going to start to play an effect, Greg. So they're going to crest this left. They're going to go down to the right.
Ooh, that was a big mistake from Hunter Dunham.
Yeah,
he lost the front.
This is the draft that's going to come into play now for Damon Jigalov.
Jigalov to 78 for third place. In the draft he goes. He gets it done into the chicane. Surprise for Jackson Blackman. Rocco Landers to the line, full throttle, standing up. Will take the checkered flag, his 10th win of the season. Outstanding ride from Rocco Landers as we await the arrival of Kevin Olmedo. So the 14 comes across in second place, and how about that battle for third place? Here they come to the line. It's a drag race. And it looks like Jackson Blackman got it.
Wow. He was able to draft him at the line, Greg. Tremendous job. Jackson deserved that. I mean, he was running third the whole time, so really good. That's going to do a lot for his motivation, and that's great.
23 hundredths of a second over Damian Jagaloff. Hunter Dunham just a second behind them. Dallas Daniels, Gage Reese, Toby Kampsuk.
Tough luck yesterday, but redemption today. How was your race?
Man, it was great. As I said in the beginning, got a really good first lap. Just tried to see what I could do, and then in the early race there, I got like a high 53 lap time. And I was looking back, and I was just like maybe steadily getting a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Then as I came across the line on like one of the laps, looked back and there was no Dom, and I was like, dang it, I like Dom a lot. But then I was like, just try to keep focused. Go. Obviously, it's disappointing because I kind of wanted to wrap up the championship this weekend, but we can wait till the next one. But it is super happy. Great way to bounce back from a disappointment like yesterday, but super happy. Can't wait till Jersey.
Rocco Landers, if he's able to pull this championship off, which it looks pretty good at this point, as you can see how many points he has ahead of Dallas Daniels and Kevin Olmedo. He'll be in Liqui Junior Cup next year because you can't race Supersport till you're 16 years old.
Yeah.
And he's only 14.
When we return, race number 2 of the EBC Brakes Superbike class. Welcome back to Wampum, Pennsylvania and Pit Race. This 2.78-mile layout is home to Inside MotoAmerica this week. After winning race number 1, Garrett Gerloff is riding extraordinary momentum going into Sunday's race. For Tony Elias, another podium finish will inch him closer to another Superbike championship. Let's join Greg and Jason with the call.
Tony Elias has the win within his sights. Cameron Beaubier has closed the gap. Again in Sector 2, the fastest sector of the race for Cameron Beaubier in Sector number 1.
It's 0.2 quicker than the fastest sector of Sector 1 he set on the last lap. 0.2 this late in the race.
Oh, it's 9.
That's 2 seconds almost, it just seems like, you know.
Unbelievable. It's now down to under 1 second the advantage for Tony Elias. Cameron Beaubier is
unbelievable.
Absolutely on it.
Just wants to get a sniff when they go into turn 17. If he can just get a sniff, and we know how good he is through the chicane, and Greg, he is there.
This is an unbelievable lap for Cameron Beaubier. He's trying to close up onto the rear wheel of Tony Elias. This is where Beaubier's strong. Can he get it right? He accelerates out. He's only got another opportunity, maybe 1 or 2 corners. You can see he's going wide. He's trying him around the outside. He's going to try to square him off. Here goes Cameron Beaubier. He's on the gas. Wheel in the air. Oh, it looked like it spun up too much.
Wow.
He closed it down, but it's going to be Tony Elias who will take victory in race number 2 here at Pit Race. And coming across the line in third will be Josh Herron. Cameron Beaubier, the fastest lap of the race.
Unreal.
In his bid for the win. Can't get it done, but a 140.945 will go to credit to Cameron Beaubier on lap 18. Incredible. The Dunlop tires, how they held up for Cam Beaubier. He put on an incredible last 3 laps. After a huge mistake, 0.3 of a second as Tony Elias will celebrate with his Yoshimura Suzuki GSXR 1000 and extend his lead in the championship.
Unreal, Greg.
What a race we saw.
Tony Elias wins over Cameron Beaubier. Josh Herron back on the podium. Good to see him back. Jake Lewis in 4th. Matthew Skoltz, a nice return of form a little bit today from Matthew. JD Beach 6th. Jake Gagne, Kyle Wyman 8th. David Anthony 9th.
With only 2 more weekends of racing in the 2019 season, the championship point standings are down to 3 riders. Tony Elias leads Cameron Beaubier by 35 points and Garrett Gerloff by 56 points. Can Tony hang on in New Jersey? In early September, MotoAmerica heads to New Jersey Motorsports Park. Located on 500 acres, NJMP houses 2 fully operable separate tracks, the Thunderbolt and the Lightning. Check your local listings for airtimes on the NBC Sports Network. I'm Hannah Lopa, and for the rest of our Inside MotoAmerica team, thanks for joining us here at Pit Race. We will see you from New Jersey in a couple weeks.